Welcome to thestockminer.com. I'm Brian Johnson, and we saw a consolidation day today, not to be unexpected after the huge move we saw yesterday to start the week. The pullback came right down to touch the 20-period moving average here, and a perfect test and bounce from there. So if you're an EW type guy, I have been liking the look of this so far as a 1, 2, 3. This actually had a little gap in it, which makes it even more convincing. This would have been a 4 now, and it was, is this 4 of 3 or whatever? I really think now with this steep of a pullback, this would be 4. Now we're just looking for maybe 5 to the upside to resolve itself tomorrow. Maybe takes a couple of days. Not quite sure. These 5 waves can last a long time. They can cut off early, and there are even times when I don't even see them form in the very, very tops or very, very bottoms of certain moves. Sometimes this is all you get. This little 1, 2, 3 look is all you get, and the next move is down. But as it is right now, you just take it for face value. I got to go with what the charts are showing me, and that is a big move up, a retest right into the 20. Only to bounce back up. I'm just looking for pushes above here. More than welcome to continue to go long if you'd like, but once again, getting very stretched into a position where I am just not interested in necessarily playing this thing long in any big way whatsoever. So Dow on a 60, as you can see, giving us that type of look, and the daily, still nice big white candle up here. Yeah, you might want to try to make this some sort of topping candle, but there's really nothing here that would give me that kind of impression at this point. Everything has still been dragging its way up. Had a nice pop yesterday and still holding very, very nicely here. It'll be breaks back below these areas that we've been talking about for quite a while. Nothing's changed for me on the downside. And to the upside, sure, take your little chances if you want up and above that area. Just be very cautious. Especially coming into tomorrow, middle of the week, with any further move to the upside. NASDAQ 60-minute did the same thing. You saw the gap up yesterday, the pullback, perfect retest, only to bounce again. So we're still watching these lower levels, 2200, 2180, and to the upside now. Okay, if you would like to take this thing long, by all means have at it. Be very, very cautious. We're getting into, I think, that last little gasp of air for the markets themselves. Could last a couple weeks, could last a couple hours. It's anybody's guess at this point. As you can see, also putting a little different candle on the NDX than what we saw on the Dow, and that is a little bit more weakness within the NASDAQ itself. It was the lagger of all the indices. Is that indication of things to come? I don't know. I'm not going to put a lot of faith in that right now, just because we're continuing to do what we have been doing, and that is watch for levels to be broken. We're certainly, my first level now, I think, on the index is going to be below this 20-day. And right now, we got a good 30 points to go before we get down there. So a lot of work to be done by the bears, and they haven't shown that they care about anything right now as far as the markets are concerned. NASDAQ weekly, same type of a thing. Started out the week. Going to wait till Friday to really pass judgment, as I always do. But you can see nothing broke here. Still holding up very nice and doing a nice job of staying bullish. As far as the first 2 days of the week go. SPX 60 minutes, same thing. Move up, pull back. This one went a little deeper than what we saw the Dow. The Dow overall did actually pretty well, and I think was a very clean look from an Elliott wave standpoint, from a TA standpoint. This one here came back to retest kind of right in between the 20 and the 50. It's really retesting this area right here. It's pretty clean there. But overall, maybe a 1, 2, 3 type of a move. Pull back here for 4, and now maybe we finish that 5. That 5 can truncate, and it can finish right here at the top of this thing. It can go past it. Once again, anybody's guess. You're more than welcome to play it to the long side. Just be very, very cautious into this last little teeny bit of a move for the markets themselves. Tomorrow morning's open might make a big difference as well as to where we are. Here we have this potential topping candle again, but we've seen these in the past, and yes, I'd put a little bit more credence on this one than I would some other ones, but until we get confirmation, this means nothing to me right now. Everything's been nothing but neutral to bullish, and I have to remain that way until these lower areas are broken. Still watching this 20 to get cracked. That'll be obviously the first thing to break, especially since we haven't tested it in a while. It worked beautifully over here as resistance, and now on a first test, why not see it work as support as well on the first track down? SPX weekly, gonna wait till Friday, but give you an oversight and show you nothing's broken bullish wise. We're still tracking upwards, guys. Still tracking upwards. So yes, we're only 2 days into it, and that's why I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on it right now, because lots of things can happen towards the middle end of a week. VIX daily showing us a move to the downside as well. Once again, we're seeing a consolidation right down here within the VIX. It's going nowhere, which means on a weekly, for the time being, we're still holding above this blue line, which is at this point better than we've seen in the past. Everything, anytime we've gotten above it always meant that we went below it very quickly or by the end of next week. We are not at the end of next week, so we will have to continue to monitor this as we roll along. Point being, the VIX for the most part is still hanging out down here, holding nicely to this for the time being, but really there's no panic here in the markets by any means. A 17 VIX, yeah, whatever. Just not a lot of panic coming in yet. Apple 60-minute was up. Go figure. Apple, such a strong stock. Yes, we had a huge gap up, and it was quickly sold off. Came back down into an area where people thought it was a good deal again, and they started buying it back up. So if you're an intraday trader on Apple, today was a beautiful, actually yesterday and today was an awesome opportunity to trade Apple. Today, both long and short. Yesterday, just long. But great opportunities right here when it's moving like this. Sure beats this stuff here. Now we've had really good opportunities to trade Apple. So if you're an intraday trader, you've loved Apple lately. Putting in, yes, a potential topping candle. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Apple's still looking very, very strong up here, and no reason to think that this trend can't continue for a little while longer. Apple on a weekly, watching to see if we'll even come close to this overhead line, but this would be my target if it continues to the upside, and that's 340, 345-ish or so to the upside. FAS 60-minute. Came back down, did not hold the blue line, but did hold the 20, and by the end of the day, held and finished above the blue line. So I'm going to hold this blue line to be true. Everything's still working just fine so far here. I don't know if I really would have had much trading to do within these today. Just very small moves. You would have really had to have been on your toes today to make any money within the FAS market, but you can see this consolidation working its way out just like we saw in the rest of the markets. Big move up yesterday, consolidate today. We might even see the same type of a consolidate, maybe even pull back or drop even a little bit tomorrow again. We're going to watch which way this particular monster goes. Back below 28, back below this area here. Now we're talking about decent shorting opportunities within FAS. FAZ then coming back to retest this blue, holding the 20 and then holding the blue line by the end of the day. If you want a more speculative long, yeah, you can get in above 920, but look at all the overhead areas you have to get through. So I had somebody ask me about that. Yeah, but it's a very speculative trade. For me, I'm not interested necessarily in going long the FAZ down here unless you're really heavy into those speculative trades, then more power to you. But for me, it's just not a good trade right down here to the long side until we get some further proof. So up and over 920, yeah, but now remember you've got 930, 940, 955, all kinds of overhead resistance here. If you really want a more probably a more conservative place, you're going to want to wait a few days, maybe even a few weeks for it to get back up into this area again and start rolling to the upside. That would be the most conservative place to take your trade. Now, obviously, you don't make the profit from $9 all the way up to $9.60, but you're not guessing. And that's the point. That's not what real trading is. Real trading is understanding what you're looking at when you see this chart and knowing when to get in and when to get out, and being comfortable with why you're getting in and why you're getting out. That's why it's so important you get a good solid education in this. Turns everything around for you. FAS daily, same type of a thing, hanging out down here. You can see it made a push up. By the end of the day, there's nothing broken here on a daily. Yeah, the 60-minute might kind of look bullish, but as I said, there's just nothing broken down here. Further drops to the downside, I'm still targeting this lower blue channel line on the FAZ. Okay, that'll do it for today's video. This, I think, is just very, very clean here from the Dow standpoint. Let's see if this one doesn't try to sneak its way up and make a little bit more of a high before it's all said and done with into the 11,725 or higher area. But overall, looks like a pretty clean if you're an Elliottian guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know how much more clean you can get than that. So let's see if we break these overhead areas. At that point, be very careful about being long if you decide to go long. Otherwise, pullback could be coming soon. Only time will tell. Wait for these areas to be broke, guys. Do not jump in and guess at anything. Make sure you keep your position sizes small until you're absolutely sure that it's going the direction you need it to go. All right, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow. Bye.